Chapter 1 of 4, EGX 350 Desktop Engraver Out-of-Box Configuration. Prior to opening the box, make note of the machine serial number and register your machine with Roland in case you need service and support. To unpack the machine, remove the two yellow packing straps that you see here. Next, pull the top cover off of the machine and set it to the side. You'll want to go ahead and remove the two accessory boxes located on the top of the foam packing and set those to the side. Then you want to remove the tape that holds the packing to the machine and remove the foam packing and the plastic surrounding the machine. Also, you want to go ahead and remove any additional packing tape that is on the machine. Using two people, place the EGX 350 on a solid, steady surface with ample room to work. The EGX 350 includes a hex wrench, a hex driver, the vacuum hose, AC power cord, user manual and software CDs, handy panel, two spanner wrenches, the .125 engraving cutter, .010 engraving cutter, 1/8 inch and 11/64 inch collet, nose cone, and retaining screw. Next, remove the shipping brackets using the supplied hex wrench, starting with the center bracket, the right bracket, then manually move the carriage to the right to remove the bracket on the left. Next, insert the USB cable to the left rear of the machine, making sure not to connect it to the PC just yet. And then insert the handy panel cable. On the right rear of the machine, connect the AC power cable and then press the main power switch to the on position. To power on the EGX 350, rotate the red emergency stop button located on top clockwise until the machine powers on. The machine will display the model and firmware version. Press the enter key to start the initialization process. The machine will initialize the Z-axis, the X-axis, and the Y-axis and stop at the view position. To set up your collet, decide which one you want to use, either the 1/8 inch or the 11/64 inch. For our setup, we will use the 1/8 inch collet. We want to set the spanner wrench on the top of the spindle and then take our collet to the bottom of the spindle and install it, which is reverse threaded manually. Once the collet is snug, we want to set our second spanner on the bottom to tighten it down. Now we're ready to install our nose cone. To install the nose cone, you want to thread it to the spindle unit, making sure not to cross thread it. You want to tighten it all the way up until it stops. Once it stops, we want to back it off to 0. Then we want to go ahead and back it off 2 full turns, again setting it to 0. Once this is done, we want to go ahead and lock the nose cone in place by placing the retaining screw on the front side of the spindle unit. Using the hex driver, you want to remove the brass cutter knob from one of the cutters. We then want to install this brass cutter knob to the top of the spindle assembly, which again is a reverse thread. You can use the spanner wrench to hold the spindle in place while you tighten down the cutter knob. Ensure the cover is closed, and on the handy panel, we want to press the menu key until you see the Home, View, and Z movement menu. Press the right arrow to select View and hit the Enter key to move the carriage to the view position for setup. At this point, we'll open the cover and take the included AS10 sheet and place it to the lower left corner of the engraving table. Once we have it placed, we're now ready to configure the EGX 350 for engraving. Please see Chapter 2 of 4 for configuration of the EGX 350 for scribing.